So this is my Sebastian Fundora first key Thurman bottom preview and bottom predictions. For the main event and for the three on the card fights as well. So yes, let's straight into it. Start then with Yeleni Hernandez versus Terrell Dusha. 10-round contest in the middleweight division. Obviously Dusha has fought the likes of Ehaya Garcia, where he lost to split decision. Unlucky to use Garcia, wasn't he? By split decision. Obviously lost to Adames comfortably by announced decision. Lost to Tim Tszyu as well. And he also lost to Everton Rubin and Eswan Diarra by announced decision as well. So he's been in with three experienced fighters, hasn't he? As Terrell Dusha, but all of them have been a level above him. Apart from Garcia, because I think that was quite a close fight. Dusha's got strong technical skills. He's durable. Does that durability. Got a good strong arms of background. The problem for me is obviously he's a counter puncher as well. That's his style. But the problem for me is too cautious for me and the lack of output. If he wasn't too cautious, then Ehaya Garcia, I think he would have beaten Garcia, in my opinion. I just think he needed more output than Garcia. I just think he's too cautious, isn't he? While Hernandez got that. He's more of a power and boxer, isn't he? He can switch between the two. He's got that power puncher style, power boxer style. He's got that technical skill, presser, versatility. He can overwhelm his opponents, like we saw against Tyron Davis, where he showed his calculated aggression and relentlessness in that fight as well. And I think that's going to be the difference in this fight. He just has more output than Dusha, and I think Hernandez will win on points, in my opinion. Talking of Ehaya Garcia, he takes on Kevin Newman. Too. I don't know why he has the last name. I don't know why he has 2 on his last name, but it is what it is. But it is what it is. But Kevin Newman is still boxer though, isn't he? He's still boxer. He's got that still. I actually think he's one of the more still boxers I've seen for the last decade or so. The problem is, obviously he's got fast hands, he's got reflexes, but the problem is, just doesn't seem to perform, does he? Just doesn't seem to perform when he's in the fight. When he's in the ring, just never performs. He's a terrible performer for me, and he needs to improve that for me. While Ehaya Garcia has got that deep pedigree, got that power and skill, high intensity, got technicality about him as well, and he's got some relentlessness about him as well. And but for me, I have to go for Garcia to win this fight, just because Kevin Newman just doesn't seem to turn up. But obviously, that's going to change at some point, isn't it? He will turn up and perform, but he's a still boxer, Kevin Newman, but I think he is wasted. He's wasting his talent at the moment. So I'm going to go for Garcia to win on points, in my opinion. The co-main event, good fight. Juan Santos versus Victor Torres Jr. 12-round contest for the IBF final heavyweight eliminator. IBF belt is held by... I can't remember. Who's that IBF held by? I don't think it's Usyk anymore, is it? I don't think Usyk holds that belt. IBF? Is it Falcon Wardy? Because I know Usyk's got the WBC belt. I think it's the WBC and WBA, I think. You have to let me know down below in the comments, because I know Falcon Wardy's got the WBO after he beat Parker. Maybe Houston has still got the IBF. Maybe he has. But I don't think he has. I think, I don't know, has Wardy got the IBF? Let me know when you watch this some day back. But IBF final heavyweight, interesting fight because obviously we saw Juan Sanchez against Atacabio, didn't we? He got KO by Atacabio, but I will give Juan Sanchez a benefit of the doubt because he was injured in that fight against Atacabio. I still think Cabio would have won that fight personally, even if Sanchez was injured or not. Juan Sanchez's best win has came against F.A. Ajaba. He's a big puncher, Juan Sanchez, big puncher. He's technical as well. The problem is, for me, he does have a bit of movement, doesn't he, Juan Sanchez? While Fritz Torres Jr. has been seen, Fritz Torres Jr. has been seen as like the next American heavyweight prospect, hasn't he? A bit like with Moses Atoma in the UK. Fritz Torres Jr., we saw him against Cueto Finero. That was a great win for him. The way he adapted in that fight against Cueto Finero, because Finero's no mud. He's no mud at all. Fritz Torres Jr. got that destructive power and style, bit like Moses Atoma. Got that presser, bit like Moses Atoma. Fritz Torres Jr. got that amateur pedigree. Got the adaptability as well. The problem with Fritz Torres Jr. that he hasn't got, but Moses Atoma has got. Fritz Torres Jr.'s defense is full of holes for me. He gets easy hit. He does that easy hit, as we saw against Finero. And he's got pure footwork. That's where you can say Moses Atoma's got way better footwork than Fritz Torres Jr. So I just think these two, Sanchez and Torres Jr., don't be standing in the middle of the win, aren't they? So it's going to be a pick and fight between the two of them. I think it does the points, in my opinion. I think it does the points, but Torres needs to be careful because Juan Sanchez got that big punch, hasn't he? And I said Torres Jr. that's easy hit as well. Torres Jr. should be favoured with this fight with his pedigree. And I think he will win this fight, Torres Jr. I got that feeling with Torres Jr. where some people are doubting him, and I think he may put a statement in, Torres Jr. and prove some doubters wrong. It's going to be a close fight though. I think it will be a very close fight because I think it is a 50-50 in my opinion. I won't say Torres Jr.'s favour. I don't think he can completely rule out Juan Sanchez in my opinion. But I'm going to go for Torres Jr. to win on points against Juan Sanchez. Because I just feel Juan Sanchez, I know he's recently came back, but recently came back after that injury against Tabiel. Has he fully recovered from that injury against Tabiel? We'll wait and see. But I'm going to offer Torres Jr. shots to win on points. But to the easy door the other way. As well. And finally, onto the main event. Sebastian Fundora versus Keith Thurman. 12-round contest for Fundora's WBC World Super Welterweight title. I think this is one-way traffic for me, this fight. But we'll get straight into it. Keith Thurman, I will say he had power. I think Keith Thurman is past it now. He did have power. I'm not going to judge him on his recent win against Jarvis, because what's the point in that? That was always going to be a comeback fight for him. But Keith Thurman, I think he's past his prime now, but when he was in his prime, he had power, speed, technical versatility, high bottom IQ, sorry for the mentals, elite movement, a former unified welterweight champion as well. The problem is being too inactive for 3 years in between fights, like in between Chavez and Barrios, where 3 years between them fights, and Barrios and Pacquiao. He's 37 years old as well, Keith Thurman. People say he can't count out Keith Thurman. I just think he's past it for me. think he's past it. Being out of the win for 3 years, that's too much for me. That's too much. Obviously, when he was in his prime, Keith Thurman would steal Sebastian Fundora, in my personal opinion. But I think it's different now. Keith Thurman far too inactive, especially when he has 3 years between the Chavez and Barrios fights and Barrios and Pacquiao fights. Fundora, I think he's got better and better. Fundora towards. At first, I didn't really rate him. I just saw him as a tall, lanky boxer. To be honest with you, tall, lanky, lean boxer. But he can box. He can box on the inside. And he can box on the outside. He's got that long reach, and he likes to fight in trenches, doesn't he? That height, the volume combinations. That he is obviously a current WBC super welterweight champion. He is a former WBO champion as well before he had to vacate that belt. He did beat Tim Tszyu twice. He did it. I think he did a job on Tim Tszyu twice. Obviously, first fight you could say, well, Tim Tszyu was cut, so it was hard for Tim Tszyu to see. But Sebastian Fundora put that weight in the rematch and won. It was a dominant performance, wasn't it? He has got one defeat on his record, Fundora, where he got KO'd by Prime Mendoza. But yeah, he was war then, wasn't he, Sebastian Fundora? He's a lot more better now, Sebastian Fundora. But yeah, I think this is one-way traffic. I think he can win how he wants in this fight. I think he'll win how he wants. KO, stoppage of points. That's what I'm going to go for. Most likely going to be points, I reckon. I think it's most likely going to be points. I think it'll be a dominant shutout against Keith Thurman. But he does like to fight in trenches sometimes, Fundora. So I won't be shocked if he tries and go for the stoppers and KO as well. I mean, a KO would be a very statement win for Fundora, but I feel it's most likely going to be either stoppage or points, in my opinion, for Fundora. So that is my Sebastian Fundora versus Keith Thurman bottom preview and bottom predictions. Feel free to leave your predictions down below on all the fights down below in the comments. And I'll see you all for the next bottom preview, which will be Moses Atoma versus Jermaine Fontaine full card.